After nearly 16 years in investment banking, I quit my job in May 2022. Now that is around 1 year and 9 months ago for those who are like me and like things in day count. And now I work for myself. And now, after nearly 2 years of heavy self-reflection, I realized I was wrong. Not about quitting, but about other things I didn't quite realize when I quit. And so the big question is, do I regret it? Have I actually made any money since I quit? Was it worth it? And would I consider taking another 9-to-5 job in investment banking? Now, I'm African, and if you know anything about African parents, I have certain expectations placed on me by my family and my parents. So before I actually quit my job, I had thought about it for quite some time. I was really nervous about telling my family, but that's for a separate video. There was one particular question that I had to ask myself, and this pretty much determined after a very rigorous process of self-reflection whether I was actually going to hand in my notice. And that question was, hold on, before I get started, let me take you back and tell you a little bit about my story and how I got here. So I was offered my first job whilst I was at university in my penultimate year. I had interned at an investment bank and I got an offer straight away. And this bank was literally the place every single person in banking wanted to be at that time. So when I got my offer, I actually went back to complete my final year at university. And what this meant for me was that when my colleagues and classmates in our final year were going through application processes and job searches and strenuous interview processes, I, on the other hand, was very fortunate to have been able to plow my entire energy into studying towards our final exams and completing our final dissertation. Now, thank God that hard work definitely paid off, and I graduated with a first class in economics, and I was able to sail into the corporate sunset. Now, here's the thing. I think that the world has changed, and nowadays people are very quick to dismiss working for someone else or are quite judgmental about going into a 9-to-5 job. But what they don't talk about is the alternative, i.e. working for yourself, and what that actually entails. Now, I will say entrepreneurship is definitely not for everyone. And I will give you my own personal experience and perspective of what life has been after quitting my 9-to-5 to work for myself. Now, when you work for someone else in a 9-to-5 job, there are certain pros and cons that are associated with that. Number one is that you are guaranteed an income, i.e. a salary every single year. And this isn't necessarily tied to your output, i.e. the outcome of your actual work. I'll actually caveat that by saying in most situations, it's not tied to your actual productivity. The second thing is structure, operational structure. You can enjoy the full force of this corporate machine working behind you. And the third thing is that you are literally handed a manual. You're told what to do. You literally just have to follow the procedures. And in most cases, this is exactly how people work. Now, here are some cons. Your income is unfortunately capped. You can never out-earn your boss, no matter how much you deserve it. The second thing is that you might actually dislike your colleagues or your work environment, and you find going into work dreadful every single day. The third thing is that flexibility is also limited because your life revolves around someone else's schedule, a corporate schedule. For example, you need to ask for time off to take some holiday every single year. It can also be extremely stressful. Now, what people didn't know about my position was that it was very, very stressful. Would I change it? Absolutely not. It was a great foundation on which I started my career. And I actually remember my sister teasing back in the day saying, you remind me so much of Alice in Wonderland. You're constantly talking to yourself saying, I've got to go to bed. I have to get ready for work. I've got this project on, that project on. I have to wake up at 5:30. Oh, she said you were endless, and it was very entertaining to watch. So my job was extremely stressful, but on the outside, people didn't necessarily see that. All they saw was the glitz and glamour that came with the company that I worked for. And you've probably heard this saying, if you find a job you love, you will never work a day in your life. That sentence, I would venture to say, isn't quite complete. So let me give you some of the pros of working for yourself. Your time is your own. You have so much flexibility, and depending on what you do, you can work from anywhere in the world. It's beautiful. You get to earn as much as your input dictates. For example, last year, I didn't sell a single product. I didn't spend on marketing. I just used my skill set and I earned close to $85,000, not from YouTube. And the next pro is that you get to decide who you work with, i.e. the quality of people you have around you, and also you get to decide what clients you want to work with. Now, here are some cons. You work 24/7 and no longer 9-to-5. Your business is as good as the effort you put into it. And I'm sorry to say this, but you are really on your own. It gets a bit lonely, and there is a lot of pressure. And if you have clients, you can believe clients will call you at 11 p.m. on a Friday when you're just about to get into that unhealthy dinner because because you haven't had time to eat all day. And my work-life balance. What life, I hear my friends say. My work-life balance isn't great. I work weekdays, I work weekends, and I work invisible days. The second thing is that there is no more safety net of an annual salary. You eat what you demolish. And number three is that you really lose that corporate protection that you were once afforded if you work for a sizable company. You know, things like lawsuits, client complaints, procedures, and the rest of it. I'll actually add one more thing. Now, there are certain things that you might want to embark upon where you need your pay slips for. So things like buying a house. As an entrepreneur, buying a house becomes a little bit more difficult because you need at least 2 years of tax returns. Your deposit might be higher. It's a whole thing. Before I go ahead, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much. Don't click off this video to all of my new subscribers. I appreciate you all for joining my small but growing corner here on YouTube. Thank you. Now, as I said, when I was about to quit, there was one question I had to ask myself, which really determined if I had the guts and the grit to walk into my boss's office and resign. And the question was, do you want to get to the top of this corporate ladder that you are currently on? Now, this could mean different things for different people. For you, it might mean your particular role or your sector, perhaps your company or your industry. It could be anything. But you need to ask yourself, do you want to get to the end and the top of where this thing you're doing is headed? If the answer is no, then I can't tell you what to do, because I'm not aware of your personal situation. I can tell you what I did. I didn't get off the ladder. I just grabbed the ladder that was adjacent to me and I hopped onto that one. But I ultimately had to ask myself, do I see myself doing this for the next 10 to 20 to 30 years? Is this where I really want to be headed towards retirement? For me, the answer was no. I wanted to try something different. I wanted creative freedom. I wanted to work for myself. I wanted to give myself permission to try something else. And that's exactly what I did. So back to the question, after 2 years, do I regret quitting and will I look for another job? Well, on some days, yes. Most days, no, I don't. Entrepreneurship is hard, okay? And the highs can be very high and the lows can be desperately terrible. And maybe that's because I'm not some big shot entrepreneur with a massive team behind me that I need to manage. And, you know, right now it's just little old me. And when I quit, I actually had a plan, but I found slowly that, okay, it wasn't quite working out as I planned, and it gave me room to be flexible. I learned very quickly that I can't be rigid and inflexible, and I basically had a lot to learn. But ultimately, I have given myself permission to go on this journey, on this path where I pray I win with a lot of hard work, but even if I don't, I won't sit back when I'm much older in my lovely rocking chair with my husband, whoever he is, and say to myself, I'm full of regret for not following my passion in life.